All right, I've got 5 p.m. We'll go ahead and call the meeting to order. Commissioner Stewart, would you lead us in the invocation and the pledge?
Please stand and join us. Again, Heavenly Father, we thank you for this opportunity to come and serve the citizens of our county. Lord, I just ask that you bless us here tonight with wisdom to do the work of the county. We ask these things in your holy name. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you all for coming out tonight. If you would like to participate, you've got a couple of opportunities. We have a citizens to be heard at the beginning, another at the end. You can speak at either one of those of your choosing, and also can speak on each individual agenda item. Please fill out a speaker card with Miss Patty for each one that you'd like to speak on, and give us your name and address when you come up so the folks at home can hear it as well. Do we have any changes to the agenda?
Motion to approve the agenda.
Second.
Motion and second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Passes 5-0. All right, we'll go into citizens to be heard. Mr. Phil Niswander?
Nice one there.
Nice Wander? Right there, sir. Yes, sir.
Welcome.
Welcome.
My name is Phil Nicewander. I'm a retired federal firefighter. I was in the service during Vietnam, but I didn't go to Vietnam because I worked on aircraft. The type of aircraft I worked on had to be just certain places, and they weren't allowed in Vietnam. We flew aircraft over Vietnam, but we weren't allowed to be there. So I just want to bring up that these whenever we raise the millage and raise doing away with the utility exemption and stuff like that, to me that's bringing new taxes to the citizens, particularly people like me that are retired. I attend a small Baptist church down near Tarpine called First Baptist Church of Ablocney Bay, and we do a lot of things to try to help people that don't have air conditioning, don't have heaters in the winter time. So we give heaters and air and fans to them and stuff like this, where the rates are going up and things that really hurts people that have a really small income. I'm not sure exactly how all this is, but I know in the paper this last time they talked about y'all bringing in 5 new subdivisions. To me, there's no reason why each subdivision can't hire a new deputy. That would eliminate the problem for a lot of this new stuff being put on people. It's going to make a hardship on a lot of people. Our church is right now getting involved with trying to help young kids in school that won't get a meal at home. There's I think 96 or 97 kids that are in that category. So what do you think it's going to do to their families? That's all I'm going to talk about right now. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate you coming tonight. All right, that ends our citizens to be heard. No awards and presentation tonight. Do we have a motion to approve the consent?
Second.
Motion and second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passes 5-0. No consent items pulled for discussion. No general business. Public hearing. Item number 8.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is a request for board approval to conduct a public hearing and adopt an ordinance that would amend Section 29.085 of the County Code pertaining to the public service tax exemption. This ordinance would remove the 500 kilowatt exemption per residential dwelling.
Motion to approve.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second, and one citizen, Mr. Eugene Watkins.
Eugene Watkins, Crawfordville, Florida. I didn't think I was going to be up here quite this quick. Okay, removing the tax exemption on the first 500 kilowatts of electricity used by citizens is morally wrong. Citizens with fixed incomes or low incomes will be hurt the most when these exemptions are removed. People have to use electricity for basic necessities such as cooking, bathing, and lighting their homes. I have visited many homes in July and August where citizens they're not running their air conditioners because they cannot afford to pay for any more electricity. These families are struggling to pay their monthly bills without you adding more taxes on them. If the county needs more revenue, it's time for impact fees. 185 single-family homes have been constructed during the current fiscal year. A $1,000 impact fee per new house would have generated $185,000 in revenue. The need for more deputies is caused by more people moving here. Impact fees will raise revenue while avoiding tax increases for those who can afford it the least. Many of you promised not to increase taxes, and that is exactly what eliminating the 500 kilowatt exemption does. It increases our utility tax. Please vote to keep the 500 kilowatt exemption and consider impact fees so that growth will pay for itself. Thank you.
David, can you use impact fees to say salaries?
No.
Thank you. Thank you.
But impact fees could pay for other things, and you'd have your tax dollars to pay for.
Want to clarify?
Yeah, but I want to clarify, it's up to you guys to figure out where you're going to spend
Funding
the
is
money.
fungible, so it can be moved
Thank you,
around.
sir. All righty. Discussion from the board.
Yes. I can't support this, basically because of the regressive nature of it. Most of this tax burden is now falling on the people that are can least afford it. People on fixed incomes, they have ability to reduce their, keep their utility usages low, so they have minimum taxes. This eliminates that possibility. Now, right now, we could take, and then, we could take and increase the public service tax and have a more broad-based charge to the citizens and the businesses, because this doesn't affect businesses and they're not paying their fair share of the 5 new officers, and which this is really going to pay for.
So the folks that you're concerned about that are
Somebody on fixed income, they can't go get another a raise. They can't the only thing they can do is control their expenses, and this tax is specifically hitting those people the hardest.
So are they limiting their utilities to the 500 kilowatts, or would the increase in the PST affect them as well?
The increase in the PST would affect them as well, but it would be not as much, and they have the ability to limit their, when they're really fixed income, they have the ability to limit their utilities down to what they don't have to pay taxes on, so they can reduce their tax burden. And these are people that are making $10,000 a year. That's their total amount they have to live off of, and for them, the $50 a year that this is going to cost is significant.
I haven't seen any numbers or any data. Say their bill's 1,000 kilowatts a month. What's going to be the difference in increasing the PST by 1.5 versus eliminating?
It's going to double their tax burden. You can guarantee that.
Yeah, but what would it be by increasing the PST? Because it's going to increase it as well, unless they're limiting their use to 500 kilowatts.
They have the ability to
both would be an increase.
Both will be an increase, but one will be less. Okay, one's going to double. The other one's only going to be a 1%, a 1% increase, a 1.5% increase.
I think we've all agreed that the sheriff needs these.
It's not disagree with the funding for the sheriff.
Let me finish. I think we all agree they need it. We can either raise property taxes, or we could do something with the PST. This, to me, is the preferred option, and we've discussed this at length. I respect your opinion, though. Not saying you're wrong. We just don't agree.
That's right. I just think that this has the biggest burden on the people that have the least ability to pay it.
And I disagree with that statement, but that's okay.
Further
Doesn't mean I
discussion?
don't like you.
Hearing no further discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
Aye.
Passes 4-1. That ends our public hearings. Planning and zoning, item number 9.
This is a quasi-judicial item in accordance with Section 24.01 of the County Code. Each commission member needs to disclose any ex parte communications you may have received regarding this item. Commissioner Stewart?
None.
Commissioner?
I spoke with Susan Jones.
None.
I spoke with Susan Jones also.
And
All
she's my
right,
neighbor, and I didn't.
thank you. If there's anyone here who's going to provide any information on this application, please stand up to be sworn. That includes any applicant who's here. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you.
Don't they have to do that in front of the camera so the people at home can see it?
We could, but I think we're covered. Summer?
Yes, this change of zoning request R1810 is for an amendment to the approved PUD for the Pagets Pond subdivision. This is a 25-lot subdivision located on Friendship Church Road. It was originally designed to accommodate 1,800 square foot homes. However, the request for this zoning amendment would reduce that square footage requirement to 1,400
Motion to
square
approve.
feet.
Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
We have a motion and a second. Any citizens? Further discussion from the board?
Well, I was concerned reading that these houses had already been built in this PUD that were less than the required square footage. Do we have a system now in place to make sure that doesn't happen in the future?
We do. We absolutely do. Staff has taken measures to document all of our PUDs that contain these requirements so that those can be fully vetted out when applications for new home sites are being made.
Okay.
Is this something that, square footage, is that something that's usually in a PUD?
It is typically not in most of the PUDs we have in the county. We have found through our research that there is a very small handful of these requirements
They seem
within
better
subdivisions.
suited in a deed restriction or covenants, you know?
Agreed.
And they can just ignore it.
That's true. And the other question, Susan, you know that, the property owners there know that all their waters are going into that Paget Pond, and advanced wastewater treatments or sewer would be beneficial for that area, shall we say. Okay.
Good job.
Further discussion? Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Passes 5-0.
You can go home now.
That ends our planning and zoning. We have no scheduled commissioner agenda items. County Attorney, item number 10.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is to request board approval to opt in as a class member in the lawsuit of Kane County, Utah versus the United States of America. This is concerning underpayments of your payment in lieu of taxes that you're entitled to receive from the federal government for the years of 2015 through 2017.
As much as we all loathe attorneys and stuff like that, I'll make a motion to approve the opt-in.
I'll ask a question. What's it going to cost us to do that?
You're entitled to a refund right now under existing precedent. The class counsel who is already representing and prosecuting this case would be entitled to a percentage as attorney's fees and costs from your
So it's
refund.
basically, we won't be out any money on that. We get a percentage.
You'll just get a smaller refund.
Yeah, okay.
We get a check.
Yeah.
We don't spend a check.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second?
Motion and a second. Any citizens? Discussion from the board.
Come on,
Everybody,
Shep.
well,
There.
everybody knows what payment in lieu of taxes. This is what the federal government pays, and instead of property taxes to us, and
National Forest.
from the National Forest and National Wildlife Refuge. And so when people make the statement that they don't pay taxes, they do have pay taxes, but they pay it in a different way. So
Just not much.
But it doesn't pay for itself, does it? They don't pay,
actually,
pay much.
they don't pay as much as say a business would, but they actually make money for the county as opposed to a lot of
I hate to drag this out anymore, but is it comparable to ag property?
yes.
It is comparable to ag?
But they've been underpaying you.
Right.
Well, it's required by statute how much they pay us, and they haven't been following their own
Exactly.
statute. So they either need to pay us or they need to amend their statute.
Right.
Are they paying the equivalent of what St. Joe would pay, for example, for ag property?
I have no idea.
Chuck would know.
Really similar. That's where they got the numbers.
All right?
The difference is that they provide a lot more other recreational activities
Rattlesnakes.
and opportunities for the community to use the land where St. Joe does not.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Passes 5-0. County Attorney, anything further?
Nothing this evening.
County Administrator?
Nothing at this time.
Citizens to be heard?
Come on now, we gotta last till 5:45. I got a bet on this.
Discussion items? And start that off?
Come on, Chuck.
You want me to stretch this out?
No,
No.
I've got a couple.
Okay.
Make it quick, though. One, I'd like to remind everyone that early voting is underway today through Saturday. So get out there and vote, and then
Glad you reminded me.
Tuesday is Election Day. And also, I think we probably all received an email regarding, we've discussed this in the past, but since we've discussed it, at Shell Point, we did a speed study. You guys all seen the results of that?
I haven't seen the result. We did that on CTST, I think. We asked.
And so we can't talk outside of the board, but I just wanted to see if the CTST has revisited that. There were speeds as high as 127 miles per hour right there near the boat ramp, is according to what this
That's a
said.
little, I think that was a mechanical error.
Yes, sir, if you don't mind.
He's got information, he's got new information on it.
Perfect.
Yeah, we did a
Perfect.
speed study. If the last one that was all was like 85% of the problem was between 0 and 23. When you have a mechanical error like that right there, a lot of times because of the way the spies are and stuff like that, if a vehicle all of a sudden makes a turn, it still gets that speed.
I got you.
So, and not only that, there's no way to get 126
I got a
miles an
hot
hour
rod truck that'd
from
probably
there.
do it.
Unless you're on a Ninja motorcycle or
Might have
something
been,
like that.
The black truck I got will do it.
But there was, I think it was only the one that was on there.
Okay.
For that. But if you look at everything else was between 0 and 23.
And Mike, explain to us, when you guys went down there to do enforcement, what percentage of the people that were speeding lived in Shell Point?
About 80%, 85%.
Really?
Yeah, we did a lot of, last year when they complained, we went down there and said, okay, fine, we'll come down there and work some traffic. And we got the addresses, and I was actually telling Mr. David, actually one of the guys said, hey man, I'm sorry, I'm actually one of the ones that complained. So a lot of it,
People were coming down there
we
to
did it
speed-
during the week
speed.
and we did it on the weekends.
Right.
You know, because we wanted to make sure, okay, well, let's make sure that we're getting the weekend traffic and stuff like that.
Is there anything we should do? Is the speed set too low? I mean, is there?
I'll be honest with
Golf
you,
cart community.
it's a golf cart community. Even parking lots are 20 miles an hour by Florida statute. You know, when we talked about this in the traffic safety team with FHP and Randy and all of us, it's hard to do 15 miles an hour there. I know the why we did it when it originally happened back in the county commissioner meeting. I was here and know why we did it, but you know, we're down there a lot. We're working it, and it's nothing like what was
Nobody
being
drives
presented.
15 miles.
And we're going to do another study. You know, we're going to do a 2-week study, and you know, this one was 9 days, 8 days, whatever it was. I don't have the sheet on top of
What
it
does
right now.
statute require for a golf cart community? Is there a speed limit that you have to?
It's, I think it's, well, posted signs, I can't remember everything, posted signs, but, by Florida statute, it's 20 miles an hour in a parking lot. So if any parking lot is 20, so you're actually below the Florida statute for Panacea is not even,
You know, if we raise the speed limit to 20, they'd flip out down there.
I wouldn't, yeah, I wouldn't.
Well, and I'm not suggesting that, but we've been asked to put in speed bumps, but I know we can't do that because it's a collector road. But is there anything that we can do or need to do from a law enforcement standpoint?
We're working it. It's actually one of our top priorities along with Wakulla Road. So, I mean, we're down there every single weekend. And, you know, it's actually slowed down a little bit.
It's an
But what we-
artificially low speed limit.
Yeah.
The speed limit's set too low for what people are.
It's-
85th percentile was, I don't know what it was.
Yeah, you have the sheet right. I don't have it right here. I looked at it. I think it was 80 or 80-something percent.
Florida statutes, you're not supposed to set the speed limit lower than the 85th percentile. And I bet you the 85th percentile is higher than 15 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Well, I got it on my desk. I can, you know, bring it next time or. come
What
see it.
section of Wakulla Aaron Road are you looking at?
Wakulla Aaron Road and Aaron Road, Government Road. We've been
Okay.
working that for the last 3 weekends, solid, every Friday and Saturday night. I know Mr. David's
Down the
fence has been
bridge?
here. No, right there around the corner of David, how you say his last name, Fawcett, is that right? He's worked for Duke Energy for like 40 years, Mr. David, so it's right there on that curve, where it's got basically a 90-degree by Mr. Duggars and stuff. We've been working that a lot. A lot of the kids are coming around that corner, sliding sideways.
Before the bridge,
Yeah. Wakulla Aaron and Aaron Road.
here, this road.
570 Wakulla Aaron Road.
Right there by where the turnoff to the senior center is.
No.
No, it's
This
right
road
here.
right out here.
I know where Government Road is, but it's right by Lost
Well,
Creek
this is,
Bridge.
okay.
This is just before, where Bobby Duggar's place is. It's right across. Wakulla Aaron Road is right there.
Oh,
So we're working that
where it
whole,
comes out.
we're working that whole
Dirt
thing
road
right
comes
there.
out.
Dirt road comes
We're
out.
working Boston Pelt, Government Road, and, Wakulla Aaron because of the amount of basically kids tearing up the road
Huh.
and trashing it.
All right.
Because I've had a lot of comments from people living on Aaron Road, which is over there by the Sheriff's Department. And as you go west, they're coming back off of the cutoff there, and there's no speed limit sign once you get on the pavement. It was just wide open, I guess, there.
Yeah, it's 25 through there, so I'm gonna
25
check,
through there,
I'll
but it
check and
wasn't
see
a
if the
speed limit.
signs, I'll look at that, I'll add that to my list to look tomorrow
Okay.
and see.
Thank you. Appreciate that. That's all I have.
David, I believe in our budget earlier, we said that we had a 25 million increase in sales tax. Was that right? Was something to that?
No,
Sales.
sales.
Well, that was backing into some math, that would have been an increase in sales.
Yeah, but 25 million was
right,
an increase in year over year
Right.
of, so that has to do with the new businesses that have come pretty much to town, and people are buying goods and buying gas and bait and tackle and so forth.
Generated an extra $250,000 in 1 cent sales tax over what it did the year before.
All right.
Motion to adjourn.
All right, we stand adjourned. Thank you all for coming out tonight.
Hey, I would need close.
Hey, David.
No?
Okay.